but I had to have my friends text message me memes because I wasn't getting my memes.
And to be completely honest, I stole the idea from Saturday Night Live.
I was like holding onto my hoodie and my hands were shaking uncontrollably. That I've never experienced before from a movie.
The human body is a machine, and you have to know how the different cogs work and what flows and be able to feel.
Just shut
Weird.
up. Just shut up.
I regret this.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. This is terrible.
My grandma has a Yadro collection that she said I'm going to have. Up. And I was like, I don't want your Yadro collection.
Made up Yadro.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the SmoshCast. Yeah, we're going. You guys ready to cast this pod?
Let's cast this pod.
We're doing it.
I was just asleep. How did you get me here?
You actually got some sleep last night?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh,
Thank you.
because barely me.
Barely you.
Because we saw a certain superhero movie. For those listening or viewing, you may notice that I am not a bearded white man with glasses, but I'll get there eventually. I'm Courtney Miller. I'm here with Joshua Ovenshire, Joven Shire, and Matt Raub. Is this both your guys' first time on this podcast? Both of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I haven't. I think we did a testy boy early before
Testy boy.
Yeah, before we did a real pod, but I don't think I've ever been on this podcast.
Nice.
All right, we're going to do it here and have a good time with it.
Yeah.
And Courtney will judge us from that side.
Yeah,
And
well, it's my first time hosting, so you guys will be judging me.
Oh, it's just a Judge City.
Judge City.
So, all right,
it's
I'm
just
into
like
it.
high school.
the next 70
Love it.
minutes, nobody knows what they're
Yeah.
doing. Strap in.
Yeah. Ian is doing a side project, which is cool. Are we allowed to say what it is? Yeah, he's doing a thing for Taste Made. He's going to be like cooking with people.
Cooking with Ian.
Yeah, Ian cooking.
He's so tasty.
We stay in a kitchen, Daddy. Yeah, so this is cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm very happy I'm doing this with you guys.
This is great.
I love you guys, and
It's
I
a
love
safe
you together
space.
Yeah,
again.
this is safe.
It's a safe space.
I'm judging
Except
you,
for
but
we're
it's a safe
judging.
space.
Yeah, safe.
Yeah.
But
safe
like
judging.
happy judging.
Yeah, it's cool to see you two next to each other. Like, it's been a while.
I know. It's been a hot
Yeah.
second. Joven, you're here.
I am here.
You're here.
People are like, where are you? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm here.
Now you're here.
I'm
Probably
here.
see that 10 times a day on YouTube comments. and
10 is a
Instagram.
small number, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 12.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot more. So what's the answer to that? Like, do you even respond to comments, or it's
I do, but I wanted to wait because I felt like this would be a good time to talk about what's going on, where I am, and to explain that I am here.
Yeah.
I'm just not always here.
Yeah.
I'm like Captain Marvel during the first Avengers movie. I'm saving a planet somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's just we're getting there.
Yeah.
No, I'm currently working on my YouTube channel. I am also working on some other career aspect stuff, but at the same time, just to kind of jump right into it, I'm still part of the Smosh family.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm
Of course
still
you
hanging
are.
out.
Yeah,
We're
man.
gonna film some stuff. It's
Yeah.
just it might not be an everyday thing, but like you don't get to choose your family. You
Right,
sometimes
we're
you'll go
with
work
each
on
other
some stuff
forever. Yeah.
and it's all
It's all
copacetic.
happening.
It's all happening. And so are you going to be in videos, or
So
what's
that's the plan.
Yeah.
You and I have already started talking about
Yeah.
some stuff
Yeah.
that we want to do together. I over the last few days, I was watching some older videos of ours and being like, I love that. So I'm excited to jump back into the mix. But just full transparency, I'm just going to be completely very honest today, and I'm working on other stuff. I want to see.
Yeah, I've seen stuff on Facebook. Like you got stuff in doing.
Yeah,
you got some
I'm
stuff
in the
pot.
process of selling shows, and I think that is something that you and I have talked about over the last few
for a
years.
while.
Like, what does the career path look like? And I just had to take a moment to figure out, like, I didn't see myself at 65 and retiring as a Smosh Games talent. I did not think that was going to be a
I don't think
viable
anybody
career.
does.
Me, I will be Smosh Games. It'll just be me playing video
That's
games.
not a joke.
Old
It's
geriatric
probably-
hands.
And it'll
Elders
still be
King.
funny. No, I just had to, and this wasn't even like when the evolution of current Smosh happened. This was something that was in the making that happened last year also, and it was just like, how am I going to retire? Because I'm married now. One day we want to have a family. I've got 3 dogs. I'm like, how do I maintain what an adult YouTuber life looks like? And it was a matter of just trying to see and make decisions that affected me 30 years from now. So
Yeah.
as much as I love filming with you guys and I love hanging out all the time, I knew that that wasn't something that I could continue to do and then eventually have something to, like a little nest egg, or I needed to know what the next step of Joven Shire's life was. And it was very scary, and it was very sad, and it was a very tough decision. But it was something where it was just like, all right, I gotta bet on me. I have to see if I can be successful as well, or if it's just a Smosh thing.
Right.
Because like before Smosh happened, we were Clever Games, and we were being threatened with $0. So like, if you don't get views, you're not gonna be anything.
F on the streets.
Yeah. And
That's
then
how
they're
clever
like,
people sound?
yeah, that is.
Yeah.
And at the time they're like, hey, do you guys want to partner up with Smosh? And it was just like, wait, they get views, right? Yes. Yes, we want to do this. Yes.
But like, did you know about Smosh before?
I had seen 2 videos.
Okay.
I had seen the Pokemon video, and then I had seen the Legend of Zelda rap that they
And this
did.
is 2012.
It's earlier than...
No,
yeah. It was early 2012.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
2012 when all that went down. But I mean, like, you're absolutely right. You hit on something I want to talk about. Is like, it's about evolution, right? And it's like, that's what we're doing with Smosh Games too. Like, we're evolving. We're it's not changing for the sake of change. It's evolving for the sake that we're able to like do different things. Like, we hit 273 episodes of Game Bang. 200, a show that we didn't think was going to exist simply because of the name. We hit 273
I thought it was
episodes.
272.
Or was it 272?
272.
Yeah,
that
we
sounds right.
called it 272. I think we did an extra one probably. That we,
Probably.
Yeah, we
we
weren't
also don't know how to
actually
count.
counting. Never know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's a lot. That is like, how many, like, I can't name the...
Simpsons doesn't have that many episodes.
Well, no, they do. I can't name more than Simpsons. I can't name many shows that have over 250 shows. That's a lot.
That was 5-6 years every week doing the same show.
No breaks.
No breaks, trying to come up with new ideas. Do you know how difficult it was coming up with punishments that other people would agree to
very
after
difficult.
272 episodes?
Guys,
Yeah.
we're basically the Simpsons.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Simpsons Smosh Games did it first.
Yeah, Game Bang
Smosh
did it.
Games did it.
I mean, it's true, and like, we have to evolve as well, which is why it's so exciting about the stuff that we're doing. And like, you get to be in more stuff, and Shane and Ian get to be in more stuff. Like, in this new iteration of Smosh Games is really rad because we get to like actually try things that we've never got to try before because we had this daddy corporation that was
Yeah.
like, whoa, you want to try? You want to experiment? That's not going to do
That's
well.
not
Daddy with a
gonna
Y or
work, yeah.
IE? Daddy with a Y or IE?
Which is the worst one? D-A-D-D-I-E.
Y is
Y
it's
is-
the one that makes you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, D-A-D-D-I-E. But that also sounds like a candy.
Yeah. I will say, like, I wanted so badly to be more a part of Smosh Games, like, all the time, like, throughout all of it, because, like, just I love video games, and so it's, like, cool that that's actually happening now, and we have some stuff that you guys are wanting to do with just me, and I'm like, so excited.
It's very exciting.
Well, and that was something like, that was never on camera either, where like you and I would just like walk through the kitchen and then start talking about Skyrim or something. I'd be like, oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Courtney
dude.
gets it.
We
Yeah.
shot, one of my favorite things we ever did with you was the Sellouts pilot.
Oh, my God.
No, you hate it, but I loved it so much. So
that's right.
Yeah, what we did was basically our old president of the company walked into my office for the first time in my, at that point, 3 years of working there. It was like, you need to make a mobile game show.
It's like, do you know my last name?
Yeah, probably not. He was like, you need to make a mobile game show. And I was like, okay, I guess we could come up with something. At the time, none of us liked mobile games. We all hated mobile games. We're like, this is a dumb fad. I think it was like just after Angry Birds at the peak of Candy Crush. And we're like, mobile games are just icky. There's no
Yeah.
good mobile games. Couldn't do Skyrim. We couldn't do anything fun on a Fallout.
A
anything
great
cool.
Marvel
What you
game
came
where
up with,
you
though.
put 5 cool characters together and make them fight against other characters.
I haven't heard about that.
But what you came up with, though, like, was so cool and such a concept, and, like,
Great.
it was really fun to host. I was so nervous.
I
when
remember.
Did that go anywhere?
It didn't
No?
go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we originally
God,
shot
that'd
the
be-
pilot. It was
And
just...
you helped me,
footage?
Joven.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the two of you
On
together.
camera.
Yeah, we played a game together. I don't remember what the original premise of the show was.
I think it was a challenge-based game while trying to play
Right,
the game.
yeah,
we were
yes,
drinking
yes.
fake. It was
Oh,
a
that's
soda,
a
but
fake-
with
Slam.
Because we
Slam
played
Coke.
on the word sellouts because we were
Right.
selling out, and
Right.
we made like a fake.
We made a fake soda
Brand.
called Slam, and you guys had to chug Slam soda while playing some dumb game. And we shot it, and we're like, how do we do a year of this? It doesn't make any sense. So then I was like, what if we just did a thing where they played a game and then we did something out in real life? And everyone's like,
That's so cool.
that's cool. Let's
That
do that.
change was
yeah,
so dope.
I love that show. I really do.
I think, like, on behalf of, like, the entire, that Smosh Games cast, where it's like, we love, that was our favorite show to do. Because if you ask, like, a favorite moment of Smosh, like, everyone has a sellout story. I one of my favorite shirts is still stained from Greece because of the first sellouts that went on air was with the suit. of
Oh my
armor
God, yeah, we
on the
made you wear a
treadmill.
suit of
That was
armor.
a stupid great idea. That was it. We came up with some great, stupid,
Really
great
dumb,
ideas.
great ideas.
I love that I got to go to Vegas with you guys.
Yeah.
We did like a couple days in Vegas.
Yep.
You like talked me into getting a massage while we
That's
weren't
right.
filming.
That's right. That was Vegas.
Yeah, dude, that was, and I vlogged that. It's that was such a
It was a
fun
blast.
trip.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I'm really excited about. What we're doing, you guys are doing next. Where, and I never really talked to the fans about this, but I was always not necessarily offended, but I always wanted to correct people when it's like, oh, my favorite Smosh Squad member is this person, but my favorite Smosh Games member was this. And I was like, no, there's no line in the sand,
Yeah.
and it sometimes it felt like that on camera there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited now that line is blurred.
Yes.
And you should be on Smosh Games
Right.
channel all of the time because you love games and you're great at what you do.
Thank you.
And Shane, and then vice versa. And I don't know. It's very exciting to see that line is going to get blurred because it should have never existed in the first
Yeah,
place.
I think the whole Smosh Games, Smosh Squad, like labeling was
Yeah.
such a branded thing of
100%.
trying to package people to brands, and it wasn't about like the relationships at all at that point.
We were segregated by corporate nature, and it was so stupid. And like, luckily, when we moved into a different part of the office, we were able to be closer to each
Yeah,
other. But there
so
was a
much
period in time. The reason why, so Joe Beretta and I created Summer Games, and the reason we did was because at the time in the building, the Smosh Squad and the Smosh Games were literally at the opposite ends of the
sides.
building.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're like, you guys, we're on the same brand. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys, we should be doing something. So Smosh Summer Games was created literally as a morale boosting thing. And then we're like, let's shoot some content while we make it
And
happen.
literally was I think some of the best bonding moments because we're all stuck in a cabin during a blizzard or in 120-degree heat in the middle of Nevada.
Yep.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so fondly. Because I wouldn't see you guys for months sometimes. Because you're either traveling or just you're so far away.
Right. Yeah.
The only time we would see each other in the office is
So
when we
fun.
came over to your office to do Pokemon Go because you guys were closer to the
Yeah.
the
That's true.
Pokestop.
Yeah, it was something that we tried to do to break that, and luckily now that we, with Mythical coming in and like us being able to be in control of our own destiny, like something that Ian and all of us talked about from day one was like we have to make the Smosh family.
Yeah.
There's no squad, there's no sketch group, there's no games group. Like it's a Smosh family, and it's all of us, and that's what's rad. And that's being able to put you in videos and being able to put Sarah Whittle and stuff, be able to put Tommy and Spencer and me and like actually show the people the actual family environment that we created as opposed to this weird fake lives that we had to create
Yeah.
to show that there was a thing. It was like, that's not what we are.
Yeah, because it's like, guess what? Like, I have more conversation with Spencer, our editor, on a
Right.
daily basis than like Noah.
Right.
Like, it's you'd never know.
Wes got onto Smosh Games because he was just our editor that we were
Right.
friends with, and we had a relationship. And again, it's the relationships that really translate and go past what like you can see on camera. It makes it special. And when you like, I remember the first time we had Tommy on an actual video. I think it was a Board AF, and I remember seeing him do his thing. And I was like, well. He's the newest member of Smosh Games. Cool. All right.
Yeah, we just shot an episode of Try Not to Laugh with him, and it's like a new format.
Dude
that
is
we're super
hilarious.
excited about. He crushed it.
Yeah, he's
He
very,
barely
very
had to do
funny.
anything.
He's a funny boy.
Yeah.
But I think that like that's something that we're really pushing for because like I get the questions a lot. You do, I'm sure you do. Is like, okay, Smosh Games is back. Like before we came back, they're like, where's Smosh Games? And then as soon as they came back, they're like, okay,
So
it's back.
authoritative.
Yes, it's back. But like, I need to know exactly who the Smosh Games cast members are. And it's like that's the thing is like
Yeah.
there is no
There's-
exact. It's the Smosh family. If Smosh Main, youtube.com/Smosh is the sketch scripted arm, and Smosh Pit is the more reality-based kind of like personality YouTube-y arm, Games is just the gaming arm. It's the same group of people. It's the same folks. It's the same everything. It's just we can play video games over here.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
have our different platforms for ourselves to play on, and so when a new viewer comes, they can just subscribe to Smosh Games if they just want to see us gaming,
right.
or Sketch if they just want to watch Sketch. It makes sense, and I think it's cool because we get to share our relationships because we are sharing our lives with people who are watching YouTube, and we want to share like the good parts that we love because if we love it, odds are they'll love it too.
Right.
So when we have people on, like, or if they're not on, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we want to be honest. I'm sure it was frustrating for the fans, like, because it takes time. We want to ease people into what the news is when
Right.
we had all this transition
Of course.
period. But
And the benefit is like, being able to do what we're able to do here, but also letting you and a lot of the other Smosh Games folks that have started different projects and stuff, allowing you guys the ability and the privilege to come back when you can.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I mean?
I have a Marvel show now, and that's super cool, but I still love those moments when I can come back. It's just like, I have so little time.
I know.
And it's how you do it. And so I'm very thankful to the audience for being there and supporting. And I will always want to give back to them. And by doing that, being able to be on more stuff with you guys, it's a win-win for me because I got to hang out on you guys at the same time.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
And what people
time
don't
management.
What people don't realize is like when we were making Smosh Games content, there was a period in time because you guys started at 12 pieces of content a week? 14.
13 because there was Sunday was only bonus.
That's right. Yeah. So it was 2 pieces of content every day for 7 days, except for Sundays. And then I came on board and I was like, no, this is insane. So we cut it down to 7 and then we cut that down to like 5. But I think at our peak, when we were just like going ahead, like we were probably 5 or 6 pieces of content. We were never not shooting.
Yeah, it was constant.
Constant.
It was
and then there was
exhausting.
traveling for sellouts or traveling for a brand deal, traveling for some like con or something. Always.
We traveled so much that this year it's literally my goal not to travel. Like we traveled that much before. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Dude, I
Seeing
feel
it.
that. Sacramento every other week.
my God, yeah.
Southwest points through the roof. I have to fly to see my family for free for a long time.
But traveling to Sacramento once a month for us, we, Soinki, Lasercorn, and I, our favorite macaroni and cheese is in a small restaurant in the Southwest Terminal coming
Cafeteria?
back. We gave it a different name because we called it Priorities because it was a priority to get there each time. We
Nice.
don't know where we were.
That's good. It's good that you could landmark knowing how much
Yeah.
travel you've done. He's been in the middle of a pyramid, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important to be able to show that we're able to kind of like make content at to the point where we're not killing ourselves, but still able to like keep the channel going.
Yeah, because this isn't like even TV shows have season breaks
Right.
and stuff like that. Like it's constant.
Again,
Right.
Game Bang, 272 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Is rough.
Nonstop.
And then add 5 or 6 other shows at the same time.
Right,
on top of that.
sellouts went for a year. I mean, honest game trailers we had that was a beast that kept going. Like we had everything going for a while.
People always want to see more Grand Theft Smosh, but like we didn't know what else to do.
True. And that's another thing. Like things like when we gamified games like Craft or Grand Theft Auto, like that's hard because we were essentially small M machinima, basically taking a video game and turning it into our thing. You can only do that for so long. We did GTA for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
We did Mario Kart for 4.5 years. Like, and that's the beauty is like we can come back. We're talking about potentially doing a mini Mario Kart run and doing a mini series or doing a GTA mini series. Like that's when it's exciting because it doesn't feel like it's just like, all right, another 50 weeks of this show. Let's do it. Like we want to make stuff that we're excited about making, and that only comes in small doses.
A small behind the scenes tidbit for the fans. If you ever see an episode of Grand Theft Smosh where there was a West list, we literally did that because we didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, we ran out of ideas.
It's like, Wes, come up with 4 races. I don't know anything.
Yep.
Yeah, what's the West list? What?
He basically put like a list of levels together because you could do custom levels. And we actually, so small teaser, Wes is actually coming back to be in one of our videos. And we are going to be doing a West list style thing, which is fun. And also, you're coming back next week. And you don't even know what you're coming back for.
I don't.
I know how much
We're
you
all
love.
learning things right now.
You love getting sticky.
No.
No.
No
We are-
sticky, no more hot peppers.
We're doing, we had hot peppers. We are doing sticky, but not with you. But we are going to make you drink some gross smoothie stuff because it's fun.
And remember, put in my mouth, memories.
Yeah.
I can't forget that. There's some things you look back on, it's like, oh man, I can't run for office now.
I've never shut my laptop watching one of our videos. Like, I just put in my mouth episode where they had a disgusting smoothie and
There was some
terrible
backfire.
acts.
Not backfire.
Blowback?
Spit
Blowback.
backwash into
throw
the
up.
smoothie.
Into a smoothie.
Well, we're playing. So they just opened up custom levels in Smash Bros.
Oh yeah,
And I'm very excited about that. Like you can jump on the actual DVD load screen
that's
as
kinda cool.
it moves and stuff. So I want to play that, but I was like, well, we got to do something different. We got to play with gaming with a twist. So there are
hot peppers. No hot peppers.
60 different character inspired ingredients that you have to put
my gosh, yeah.
into a blender. This is all Damien. Damien was like, I got it. And like I looked at the list and I was like,
Thanks,
oh my
Damien.
God. Yeah. It'll be fun. Hey, just don't lose.
As long as there's no hot peppers. Lasercorn actually tricked me into having a hot pepper recently, like on camera, and I was not about that life.
Was that real? Because I was like,
That was one of the shows that I do on my channel, totally unprompted, where we write scripts for each other. And Lasercorn wrote in my script that, I love hot peppers so much. And he's like, I've got one right here. That literally, I did not know that was going to happen.
Seriously?
I was not happy, but I'm a trooper-ish. If the camera's rolling, I'll be a trooper.
yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool, I guess I'm doing this right now. And we still had to film 5 more episodes after that. and you can still see that I'm dying from it. Yeah,
the whole hiccups. Well, so
and you have different you have different guests on the show, right?
So it was me, Wes, Soinky, and Lasercorn. So there's different combinations of that, and then they'll do it. But I if it does well, I would like to have another batch on. I feel like I need to have Damien and Shayne on.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah?
Let's spill some
All right,
tea.
you guys ready? All right,
some
here it is.
hibiscus tea.
So, I like the hibiscus.
Yeah.
Do you like it iced or hot?
Normally iced, actually.
No, it's hot today, boy.
Okay, it's hot.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of comments.
Oh boy, that was a fun first day.
Yeah, so your episode went live, and it looked like people thought your show was kind of familiar.
I was so proud of this because I paid for a crew. I got the guys in. I was proud of the concept. I edited the video myself, which I haven't done in like.
And you're blind,
8 years.
legally.
I am, so I move very slowly.
And like Yoda.
And then the second comment was like, "Oh, Damien and Shayne did this," and I was like, "What? No, that must have been a one-off thing." And then a few more comments. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
What?
Several shows.
Apparently, it was a running segment that they had done on Smosh Pit Weekly, and I will say right now, I did not know that.
I thought I heard Damien say that you complimented him.
Nope. I also blindly compliment Damien because it like keeps him happy and moving forward. So most of the time, I don't
saddest thing
know.
ever.
He'll just come up with a smile. I'm like, "Hey, that thing you did last week, I loved it. Good job." And he's like, "Oh, thanks."
My God.
And then I'm good for another
It does
day.
keep him going, though. It's like the
His tea
Energizer
feels
Bunny.
cold.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
sorry.
Well, to kind of heat it up, the reason I didn't know is I didn't watch those episodes of Smosh Pit Weekly.
It was a segment in Smosh Pit Weekly.
Yeah.
It wasn't an entire video. So that is.
So it was something that was, and to be completely honest, I stole the idea from Saturday Night Live.
There's the
Literally, it was a
tea.
segment on Weekly News where they wrote each other's jokes, and I was like, "That's hilarious." And I had been wanting to do something that felt like old Why We're Single videos. I was like, "All right, let me take this and add a Why We're Single element with like people in the background. It's just more like personality based, and the jokes are there, and then we'll see what happens." And I was so happy with the final product.
For the record, by the way, Damien and Shayne did it before SNL did it. I'm just, I want to make
that
sure
is
everyone is
true.
aware.
I almost wonder if they saw it because they searched weekly. And
Yeah.
like,
Well,
saw it.
Michael Shea is a huge Smosh Pit Weekly.
That makes sense. I stole the idea from SNL, but to Damien and Shayne, I will not say this again, so hear this once.
Oh, and it's going to be foreversies.
You guys are just brilliant, talented, funny people. So I feel lucky that I came up with an idea that you had already done a few times. That means I'm kind of on the right path to making something entertaining.
That's very sweet.
So, and if they would like to come on, I would love to. I felt bad because like I thought I had something great. But here's the thing: it's the internet. There's nothing original on the internet anymore except for whatever they're about to do on Smosh and Smosh Games in the next few months.
Nobody's drank a smoothie ever on the history of the internet. Yeah, we've never done it before, period.
I feel like this Smash. Was that what we said?
Smash.
Okay, yeah, the Smash Bros. Idea. I didn't know how secret it was. This seems very original to me.
I think so. I mean, that's the thing is like there is no originality. All you can do is put your stank on it.
Yeah.
So like you guys put your stank on it. It's how you did it.
It was different.
Yeah.
A little Smosh seasoning, a little
So
Joven
I'm sorry,
seasoning.
Damien and Shayne. I started watching the Goldbergs literally just to support Shayne. I think he's very talented.
Your
individual.
view counts. Every view counts on that
I
show.
like to think so, just like on YouTube, right?
I don't know what to believe now when you go, that thing you did.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
just if I sound sincere, I'm lying.
Oh, wow. Wow. Way to completely negate what you just said.
We're real here. We're real here.
We're here. This is the real.
Oh my God.
Well, that's good. So yeah, you've got that show. You got the Marvel mobile game show.
Yeah, I pitched a show to Fox Next, and I didn't hear anything for months, and I was like, well, there goes my career. I'm done. And then they hit me back up, and they're like, hey, we like this thing. Do you want to do this? And I was like, wait, I'm going to have a show with Marvel and Fox? Which is the most scared I think I've ever been, because you and I have talked about this, and I want the fans to know. No one that you've ever seen, met, or talked to, or have heard of in their life knows what they're doing. In
LA. If you're a coal miner or a teacher, chances are you know what you're doing.
Or a doctor, hopefully.
maybe.
No, doctors faking it.
They guess every day.
Yeah, little known fact about doctors. They don't know anything.
Yeah, do you see how many books they have? Do you think they actually read all those books? No. Nobody reads that much.
Cool.
But, and so they came to me and they're like, all right, great, we want to do this. And I was like, wait, I've been guessing my whole life, and now the spotlight was on me, and I had to come up with how the show is going to work, the structure and everything about it. But also having Marvel and Fox looking at the same time at every tiny detail that you do was a new type of pressure, and it was a learning experience, and I'm having a wonderful working relationship with them, even though I didn't get invited to a premiere or anything. That's fine, but I don't know. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's something I get to do with them. And so there's that show. I brought Top 5 back this week. There's Totally Unprompted, which we'll go for another batch, and we'll try to get some more in if Shane doesn't give me a cease and desist
or punch a hole through you.
Yeah, that too.
He's been known to do that.
I got Magic the Gathering videos up there because that's a really popular thing, and that's something that even you'd get mad at us for talking about Magic the Gathering
because it's real nerdy.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Damien about anime. When he starts talking about his weeaboo stuff, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, man. I was like, look, I could tell you literally every single character in every Marvel movie and their history and their first issue, but you start talking to me about like Boku no Hero do no.
There's so much anime. He says a different anime every day. I'm like, there's a whole world that I don't know about.
Courtney, I think he's making this up. I think he's making this up.
Have you seen Spirit of the Darkness Dead Boy, man? Hero Love?
It's like, It's like,
you don't know? It's the best.
Oh, it's the best. I
Blue
highly
Spark.
recommend it.
Yeah.
I'll need to have him on an episode of Where to Start, but it's just manga.
Yeah.
And that's the comic book show where we go over, and I want to have you on eventually because we just talk about like, hey, here are the comic books that you need to know.
Yeah.
So I'll have Damien on to do manga. You come on and
Manja, I believe.
Oh, Manja. Okay.
Yeah.
He'll love that.
Yeah. And then I can tell him that he did a good job, and he'll definitely believe me.
Until he watches this podcast, and his heart literally breaks.
Dude, we have such a nerdy office, though.
We do. We really do.
It's cool, like, even before this office specifically, just our workspace, it's just filled with people with like pretty similar tastes, or just like on that same level of like nerd, which is cool. Like we were up till 3 a.m. seeing the new Avengers movie, and like this morning you see doors are shut and people are talking. You're like, okay, they're all talking about the movie right now, and and that's pretty common. Like the new Game of Thrones episode.
I feel like you were always very notorious for having your door shut because like people would make you shut your door because there was always something that we just saw that people
were
hadn't
talking about
caught up with.
Premiere we went to, or the latest episode of something, and everyone's like, I don't want to hear this.
Not yet.
Yeah, I need another day. Yeah, we were doing that this morning because we finished watching Endgame. I saw it twice.
In one day.
The movie hasn't even been out for 12 hours yet.
I know. I saw it
6
twice.
hours of those 12 hours.
6 of my 12-hour day was watching Avengers.
This office was empty by like 4:30.
Yeah.
Because everyone was out. It felt like Christmas, like something big like that.
And it was. It was one of those things where just like, for this in Star Wars, like you have to get there first. Or you're going to see something online, whether it be a troll or just like it. You can't not talk about it.
I went on complete social media blackout for 2 days. I was texting because I couldn't go on Reddit because Spencer told me, he's like, front page of Reddit, big old spoiler. I didn't go on Twitter because I know. So I told you when I went to Force Awakens, I was like tweeting, I was like, gonna go see Star Wars, and literally someone just replied to me, he's like, Han dies. I'm like, are you serious? Like, what the
like? That's I hate that.
But I went in total blackout mode. I had to have my friends text message me memes because I wasn't getting my memes. I was like, please send me memes.
But then they just send you Marvel spoiler memes.
Yeah, I was like,
SOS.
no. Yeah, SOS, need meme, hard day. But I was like, just send me stuff. And then I went in, and then I'm like, okay, good. It was so liberating,
You
right?
made it.
Being able to go back on the internet is so liberating after like 24
now you're
hours.
in on the joke.
I know.
For the week prior, I was pretty good. I was just in general scared of leaks or something. I was pretty good at staying in my lane because I still want to put out my own social media, so I was very good at navigating that. But day of yesterday, I was literally like, I kept accidentally opening Twitter and clicking the Discover page like an idiot. And I'd see a picture of Rocket, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
get that out of here.
I did a live stream yesterday to kill time, and I was like, I'm sorry guys, not looking at the chat. So good luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, and you're there too.
Ian tweeted this morning or last night being like, yep, can't see it until next Friday because I'm busy, which I'm hoping he'll be able to see it.
So we go to New York on Sunday, and I think we have a little bit of time on Monday.
He's not going to survive.
No,
In
I
the
think he'll be
comments of
okay.
his tweet, someone spoiled it.
Oh my God.
Did he see it?
I hope not.
I hope not.
If you're going to tweet about, spoilers, there's going to be somebody.
Yeah. It's just anarchists.
Yeah.
It's just people being like, I want to ruin this guy's day.
It's like, I don't care as much, so I'm going
Right.
to... That's stupid. But what are you going to do about trolls? What you're going to do is you're going to try to see the movie as early as you can. And
When we were at the movie theater,
you had to
see people, I plug my ears and go, la, 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 because we did it ourselves,
Right.
talking about it, walking out.
They had to say in the ArcLight intro thing, they'd be like, also reminder, when you're leaving the theater, there are certain people that haven't seen the movie yet. Do not spoil it.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
I am so ready to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
please and thank you.
Dude.
Yeah.
So did you see it twice? Did you see it?
I saw
He
it
saw it
twice.
twice. I saw it last night at 11:30. Got home very, very late.
Yeah.
But you also saw it really late, right?
Yeah, it was 11:45 showing.
Now, is that because that was the first time you were available to do it, or like me, you procrastinated and just had to find the furthest theater that still had a seat available?
Shane actually, like, he was like, well, there's no way, like, I'm buying tickets. It was like super far in advance. He's like, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of tickets right now for this one showing.
Right.
And so then a bunch of people just hopped on, so I was luckily able to just be a part of that.
I backed into the fan screening at 5 because I was like, oh, I'll go, but it's like second row back, and I was like, what if the seats suck? So I was like, I'm just gonna buy a second.
So you're like this the whole time, like,
because I
that's
really
right.
want to
Smart.
see it, and I it ended up working out because there's so much of the battle that I missed, there's so much of the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We getting into spoiler territory? Spoiler boy?
Well, yeah. So basically, I loved it. I loved the movie.
yeah.
People
Hands down.
should go
Hands
see
down,
it.
yes.
But like, you gotta see it. There's gonna be people who haven't seen Infinity War that are gonna go see this. Like, there's gonna be people like
Yes.
that. Don't do that.
yeah.
It's on Netflix. Watch it.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't see Captain Marvel, you could survive and watch this movie.
Yeah.
You didn't see Infinity War, you'll be confused.
Yes. You'd be like, who's the purple dude? Who is that? What's his deal?
What's he like?
He's nice.
What's it like? What does he think about? Does he think about me?
He's just farming? Okay.
I thought it was.
Oh yeah. So spoiler time.
Yeah, spoiler time.
I don't know.
just come back.
to be safe.
Just come back
We'll
and
figure it out.
rewatch this all.
Yeah, if you're, I mean, this is, you're gonna hear the audio the Wednesday after it comes out. You're gonna see the video the Friday
Yeah.
after it comes
Yeah.
out.
And by the time
Just
if you
see it.
haven't seen it, it's already been spoiled for you. So
Yeah. If you go on social media at all.
Literally anywhere.
But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, what'd you think? What did you actually think?
Well, I had like a physical reaction to that movie. It was so much.
Yeah.
Like that movie, I loved it so much. When the battle was happening, like when it was like on your left, and everybody comes out.
I almost
and
cried again when you said
It's
that.
time. Everyone started coming out, and when I saw Peter Quill, like, I literally, I grabbed myself and like my heart was pounding, obviously, like
Yeah.
everyone's was.
Yeah.
And then like as the battle started happening, I was like holding onto my hoodie and my hands were shaking uncontrollably. That I've never experienced before from a movie. Like I was trembling. I was just constantly just like crying, just like my eyes just, I didn't want to blink because there's so much going on. I
Right.
didn't want to miss anything. But like my heart rate didn't slow down until I was home. Like I did have coffee with dinner, so that may have been part of it. But hands trembling and shit, like wow.
It was, amazing.
And it's funny that you said that you've never had that reaction before. It's because we've never had this experience before.
Exactly.
No one's had this experience before. This is 11 years. And I know that we were all saying the same thing last year, where it's like, 10 years to get to this one movie. Yes, and this is even more true now because it is 22 movies that led up to this one experience. The best part of this movie is that you will never be able to experience this again. And especially like that, even if you see it a second time and it might be as good,
Right.
but like not knowing what was going to happen,
Yep.
wondering when the movie was going to stop.
Yep.
You will never experience 22 movies leading up to one movie ever again.
Yeah.
Like people will try, but okay, cool,
Yeah,
maybe
executed with everybody in it. Executed, I mean, in my opinion, so well.
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Everybody had their moment. Everybody was able to have a cool comic book hero shot. Everybody got to have it together. You got your Girl Squad moment.
Yeah.
You got your best friend Cap and Iron Man moment. Like it was just, it worked.
They
felt
just
pretty
worked.
tied up
flawless
every
to me.
loose end.
Every loose
perfectly.
end.
Yeah.
Well, close to every loose end.
Pretty almost.
Because we're in spoilers, let's just get to that moment in the movie where you said you had like a physical reaction. I literally jumped out of my seat when Captain America got the hammer.
Oh yeah, Mjolnir.
Oh my God, this was me.
Like
For audio people at home,
for the-
she's making a face from the ring.
I look like a demon. I was so shocked.
I've seen quite a few movies with Lasercorn and Sohinki, and I did see this movie with them and Mari last night. And I've never noticed before that they'll always switch off who sits next to me because I yell too much in movies.
Yeah, it's a thing you do.
Yeah, I get excited, I clap, I cheer, I get into it. And Lasercorn afterwards like, yeah, better watch the movie again because I didn't hear a few lines you were yelling. I was like, that was so good.
Yeah, and it was. I'm so used to that. We saw it together. We saw it was you, me, Damien, Shayne, Ryan Finity, and I was kind of looking at that because it was a second screening for me. So I wanted to go back because I wanted to watch people's reactions.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do at a movie, if I kind of know what's happening, is to watch what people are doing and how they're reacting. So I kept looking over, and you were just in the fetal position, and Shayne, no joke, the entire time didn't make a noise or change his face. He's just.
Yeah.
The entire time. I looked over a dozen times and he's just, I was like, is he upset or like is he sad?
Yeah,
he's just in complete just like comatose face. Like it was so. It was jaw dropping.
It was exhausting.
It was exhausting.
My heart hurt. I felt physically drained. I felt like I was in the battle. Like my heart was hurting, my head was hurting. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like I tried to be a little bit of part of conversation, but like I needed to sit down. Like my body was not okay after watching that movie.
Leading up to this, I almost like would lose like nerd cred for some people where they're like, how am I going to do pee breaks? It's so long. I was like, bitch, you didn't do 3-hour Lord of the Rings midnight screenings also? Yeah. Come on, this is nothing.
I trained for this moment.
Yeah, and then like watching this, I'm like, how much time has passed? It feels like this movie should end right now. No, we're still going. Like literally when the two armies are going head to head, I was like, it's going to cut to black.
Right.
But this is the end of the movie.
No, it's nuts. Like, because I also sometimes time check, and I was like, cool, where are we in the movie? Like, generally try to figure it out. And I was like, when they finally decide to have that brainstorm session, I like turned to my wife and I was like, there's another 90 minutes to this movie. And when they go into the battle, when the battle ends, there's another 35 minutes to the movie. And I'm like, there's so much content.
I just love that one. It's like, yes, there's more movie.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Exactly. Because I didn't want it to end. Right. Again, I'm not going to have this again, at least for a decade, if someone started right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I guess phase 5,
I guess
Marvel,
so. Yeah.
maybe.
Well, you got X-Men stuff. There are going to be more geeky moments in the future.
But
we're going to get things
again, this is the first time
this
this ever happened, and the Russo brothers are just in my top 3 of directors because they know how to do these moments so well. Like the opening to Infinity War, I think, is brilliant. Mm-hmm. How like we see how badass Thanos is just by just by fighting the Hulk. Like you don't really need to see him destroy Xandar. You don't need to see him like wipe out all the Asgardians. You just see him fighting Hulk, and you're like, oh, all right, he's a bad bitch. Got it. And
that was my one gripe with this. One of like 2 gripes with this with Endgame is like Hulk never got his like redemption moment.
And I think we were saying, his version of redemption, like that they had for him, was coming up with the time machine or trying the time machine, and then the snap.
Yeah. The double snap.
The double snap
back.
Snap back.
That moment where just Thanos' armor shows up, wow, it's like, what the hell is going to happen right now? And then you just hear the faint sound, and you're like, oh, okay, that's the guy. No, oh my God. It's happening. I know it's happening. And then you just see the strange portal, and you're like, I was like grabbing people's arms, like,
ah! Oh, I ugly cried at Avengers Assemble. I was like, my wife grabbed my hand. I was like, they're together. Yeah, and it's amazing. And like when they ended the first movie, because we all saw Infinity War together, and like the fact that they just blew everybody's minds by killing everybody at the end of the movie. Yeah. And like everyone was like, what? Like you have a year of us building and like theorizing and trying to figure it out. And the fact that they subverted all expectations in the first 10 minutes of Endgame is amazing.
I did a video after Infinity War. I was like, Marvel's making the same mistake that Star Wars made, where it's like if you give someone a year to theorize, like Episode 8 just like went against what everyone thought. Yeah. So then they hated it for it. It's like, well, this movie won't be what we think it's going to be, so we're going to hate it.
Yeah.
And the movie started off so slow that it almost made me like doubt if it was going to be good.
Right.
Like after the Thanos stuff in the beginning, I was like, oh, what if this movie's just kind of
just them dealing with it?
That made me feel super confident in the movie. And I was like, oh, like we're going to stay here and like they're emotionally bringing us in like so much. And I cannot believe like the amount that cinema and like movies can affect a person. Like it's a bunch of people who have a job and they're doing this thing and they're creating this thing and they're all passionate about it, but it's like the fact that millions gather and just looking at a screen just creates so much response.
And it was just done perfectly. Yeah, there might be some issues here and there, and
there's some lines that was like cringy, but
anytime you throw time travel into a movie, like for me it's gonna take me out. I'm like, all right, well, this ruins everything in the timeline. And they did it so well. And literally at times just by throwing out any preconceived notion of time travel in a movie and just like kind of resetting your thought on it. It's like, okay, so this will make sense.
It just worked. Like it just worked, and it was just kind of perfect. And it's like, honestly, they could never make another movie and it'd be like, that was, you know what? We did it. That's our Godfather trilogy. It's 22 minutes long, or 22 movies long. 22 minutes long. And that's it. Like, honestly, they could never do another Marvel movie, and I feel okay with it, you know?
Like, and like, how, you're right, but like, how do they follow bottle open 2 months with what the movie that's supposed to end Phase 4, which is Far From Home?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it's going to be Spider-Man stuff. I mean, that's the benefit of doing something like this and then something a little smaller is like you go from the macrocosmic to the microcosmic. So this can be more about like Peter, his life, how it was affected, all that stuff.
I'm still, like, they're really good at having lines where to kind of clear up any questions that you might have. If I had a kid in high school and he got dusted and then he's back all of a sudden, like, I don't know if I'm going to send him on a school trip to Europe or anything.
Allegedly, they're going to address it. They're going to address the fact that Peter Parker's 5 years younger than literally everyone he's in class with. So they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
Well, I think you just start, like, some people moved on. All right, great. You're now in college. And now
Is Zendaya in her 20s now?
Well, no,
is that weird? Is she dating a 16-year-old?
Any character that we knew before probably also got dusted and then came back. I don't know. It'll get addressed.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see what the future is. I'm excited to see them kind of do weird, more obscure characters. Like they have to pull a couple more Guardians out of their ass. Like they have to pull a couple more of like, let's take a franchise or a comic book from the 70s or the 80s that nobody gives a shit about and let's make it a very big and popular thing.
I thought I was excited for Guardians 3 and then I got so much more excited for Guardians 3.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh, throw Thor in it. That's how it gets better.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, give us Fat Thor.
I'll be honest. I think Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, I don't know. I feel like he was kind of half-assed performance in Endgame, man.
It's interesting that you say that because there was a point in time where, especially when like all the dusted characters came back, where I felt like we weren't getting the satisfaction of like seeing these relationships or personalities come forward, and I had to stop myself a few times. But like, it's not Star-Lord's movie,
right?
It's not Strange's movie. This is Captain, Iron Man, and Thor finishing off their story.
Yep.
And, like, that's where the magic needed to be. You didn't want anything pulling too far from that.
But when he sees Gamora, I was like, I want to feel this right now, but, like, I think they're didn't feel it from him this time.
I think they're saving it for the third movie.
Probably.
I think that they were teasing, like, that they're going to go they're going to do a search for Spock, and they're going to go try to find Gamora.
The thing is, like, man... so it's like everyone, all the fans say, I'm like, oh, I'm a Chris Pratt fan. I'm like, I'm more a Star-Lord fan than a Chris Pratt fan. Like, sure, he's good in other movies, but like Star-Lord, Peter Quill, and the way he performed that character in previous movies, I've never loved a male character.
Yeah.
Well, it was, and I'll say this all the time on my channel, the way that you make a successful superhero movie is you need to do something different. And Chris Pratt, as Star-Lord, was a very different leading man versus anything we'd seen for the 8 years before that. Yeah. We needed that kind of superhero.
I mean, he's Han Solo. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's Han Solo.
Yeah.
He's Han Solo.
No, I see it.
Han Solo.
He's Han Solo.
I see that. He's got that Han Solo charm.
Yeah, he's got the swagger.
He's got swagger, but like
kind
this guy...
I'm talking Han Solo New Hope. Like, he's kind of like... He's kind of an idiot, but he's also kind of a hero. Like... You know what I mean? Like, he's just...
I could see the comparison. I still have a little bit more line down the center.
He's gatekeeping Han Solo right now.
Yeah, just stop.
Just stop. Just let it happen.
But I loved it. I loved every aspect of it. I think, sitting through a 3-hour movie twice is definitely never something I ever thought I could do. But I did it, and I was like, fine. And they made us care about Thor 2.
Yeah.
Like, that alone is a feat.
Oh, my God. Jeez, the moment with the...
I deleted that one out of my brain.
Right? Everybody did, which is why I feel like, all right, we gotta... What the happened in Thor 2? Writing the script. Did anybody here see Thor 2? Nobody? All right.
Was that actually Natalie Portman that we saw in this movie?
Yeah.
Did they bring her back for a shoot?
I feel like they used, because I think they had all this extra footage from when they shot those movies. Maybe. I think they used stuff, and then they used a body double when she gets up and rockets behind her.
They did. There's a close-up of her face, and it's definitely now Natalie Portman.
It's a fresh face, really?
I thought so.
I don't know.
I thought so. Everybody, that's the one negative of this movie. It's like, everybody, like Gwyneth... Rene Russo, everybody's kind of like, oh, that movie was like 12 years ago. Like, I forgot. You've had like a long time on this planet since that movie happened.
So when I saw the close-up of her, I thought she looked fresh. I thought she looked good, like back then good.
Maybe. But also they made Michael Douglas not look like he's the Crypt Keeper. Yeah. So like they probably did a little bit of magic, CGI magic on her face. It was great. It was a great moment. Made me care about it. I don't care about that character, but I was like, this is rad. This is cool. Like, I was into it.
What moments made you cry?
Oh, like so many little ones.
A few times. As someone that prides himself on having a lack of emotion, it came a few times.
It came a few times.
It did.
Sorry.
Penis.
Well, it was that good.
I did the joke.
There was that wave of emotion, like dozens of times throughout that movie. But I think Captain getting the hammer.
Yeah.
I lost my
Yeah.
when Gamora puts her hand out for new Nebula or
yeah.
the Orange Nebula, like that for me, like just a sister relationship that I like literally watched up and I was like, that's sad. And then like even the later scene was starting and I was like, no, it was really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Any other cry scenes?
Honestly, it was just assemble for me. When he says
Yeah.
assemble, and like it's been like they've been teasing it for 20 movies, and he hasn't said it fully for the longest time, and then he says it, and everybody's there, and it's a battle. I lost it.
But they technically already assembled because they are already all came together. They
Well, they were just kind of looking in different directions.
Yeah.
So
Also,
okay.
he whispered it, so maybe they didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just like,
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to yell it, but he's like, wait, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There we go. Yeah. You?
Thor talking to his mom. Like,
Oh, okay.
just,
Yeah.
it got me, and I was like, ah! And then all the way up to Steve Rogers at the very end.
The slow dance?
Before that, when he's on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, maybe that was just like the
old man.
emotional, like it just, even just watching the movie for 3 hours and finally came to this moment, I was like, he's earned this. And he got to, like, he saved the world who knows how many times, is now able to, the moment he didn't come back, I was like, oh, I
knew that was gonna
I grabbed my wife's hand. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And then they, I think what also did it was the fact that Bucky knew that he was going to be over there, and then pushes Falcon that way. And I was like,
Yeah.
like, it's getting to me again. It was just like, that was the perfect ending where it's like, you've earned it.
Yeah. For me, that was like, I don't know. I guess it's good. It's not just killing people off. It's easier. But I was like, this is the first time since Winter Soldier that I actually liked Cap. I've always thought Cap was super vanilla.
Yeah.
I was like, he's just super boring. Like,
I didn't like him in the comics at all.
Yeah, I was like, he's whatever. He's Cyclops. Nobody likes Cyclops. Everybody likes Wolverine. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I was just kind of like, eh. And then in this movie, I genuinely like Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans is one of the funnier actors out there, and he doesn't get to do it. And I think that they kind of made the decision. They're like, we got RDJ, and he's RDJ, and Hemsworth is really reaching for this comedy stuff, so you got to be you. But the fact that they let him do it, where he's like, I could do this all day. He's like, I know. Like, that stuff, like those moments actually made me care about Cap. And I was like, this is so good. And then at the end of the movie, I was like, but wait, you don't go. No, I like you now.
It's like, no, you're on my team now.
Yeah.
I think the one issue that I had, and the reason I'm bringing it up is you kind of touched on the scene. The one thing that I would have done differently, because I am a professional, of course.
You've worked with Marvel.
Yeah, so they're listening. Is when Cap says that line about when he sees himself.
Yeah.
And that fight happens. Captain America swears.
I know. You would have wanted him to say language.
Like I thought the other Cap should have been like language.
I thought about it, but I was like, there's so many things happening in that 3-scene shot that I was
Yeah.
like, if he says, oh, you got to be me, and then the other one says, I got Loki, and the other one says, I'm not Loki. If they were to say swearing, it felt like a hat on a hat.
It would
felt
have been
like a little
another
too much.
thing in
That's
there.
crazy.
I wonder if they actually did film it and be like,
Maybe.
I didn't think about the swearing thing.
Yeah.
was this movie a comedy? Because there's sometimes where like Marvel has always tried to like really jump into the comedy and
Well, the Russos got their start in sitcom.
in sitcom.
Yeah, like Community was the thing that put them on the map, which is also great because they put almost every Community regular in a Marvel movie.
Mm.
And we got
That's right.
Danny Pudi, they had Ken Jeong,
we got
and
Ken Jeong
Yvette
this
Nicole
time.
Brown was in this one. They've done, I think everybody but Allison Brie, Chevy Chase, and Joel McHale. Everybody else has been in it. Yeah. It's great. I love it.
but yeah, it was just funny. And then like sometimes I'll be like, all right, is it trying to be too funny? I'm like, no, it's just like
felt
perfect
good.
blend.
Yeah.
It just felt like, ooh, this is a little mini sketch right now that's happening. And for me, that's the difference between Marvel and DC is Marvel knows how to make it look like they are a little, like they don't care as much. Like it's just like
Effortless.
we're chill. Like we aren't taking ourselves so seriously. And I'm sorry, you are a little more on the DC.
I work for Marvel. With a Batman tattoo. Don't tell them that.
Yeah. I will say when Cap sees Margaret through the window and doesn't do anything about it, that was like a really powerful moment to me because like he's just so strong. He's so strong emotionally, physically.
Whoa.
But like, sorry, that like just,
Yeah.
and it's just, and even when he got knocked down by, was it Thanos? And he still is just getting back
Yeah,
up.
it
I
was
almost
that-
yelled, get up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's Cap.
Yep.
He always gets back up. He can do this all day. And just the fact that like, all of their egos were out the window for the most part, like for this movie, because I mean, it had been 5 years, whatever. Like the egos were all super hot in the beginning before the 5-year jump.
Thor's got a gut.
Yeah, dude.
Which it was so refreshing to be able to see a Marvel movie and have a shirtless superhero and me feel like I'm doing okay.
Well, this was a conversation my wife and I had. Is like, do you think there's no way they're going to keep that? Like, I was like, she was like, do you think Chris Hemsworth's like, oh, I don't have to get in like super shape? And I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a little bit of me that's like, oh, they're like representation, but also it's like, I feel like they're probably like, you can't have an action figure with a gut.
Well,
you know what
also
I mean?
like if you look at
I'd buy it.
like Thor at the end of the movie was as big of a badass as anyone else, if not the biggest badass there. And
he had braids in his beard.
When he hit the lightning, the lightning god's like, here's really good for you. So you look good for that.
And so like he didn't get abs in 10 seconds. So that's to show like he could still have the build that he has and still be a great character.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a perfect, like, it's muscular, but it's overweight.
Right.
Like, he still had all the muscle there, but it's crazy.
It was good.
Prosthetics on him?
No, just pizza. It's like a ton of pizza.
He did a Christian Bale. Just gained all the weight.
I mean, he's very method because it was a Master and Commander. No, that's the other one. He did the whale movie and he was like emaciated. He's lost he's done that thing where he's like fluctuated in weight. So like part of me was like, did he gain like 55 pounds of fat for this movie? But he probably
it wasn't in his face. So I think it was just the suit. But which yay for practical effects.
Suit and I think maybe some body double stuff. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they could do it with Cap looking like a scrawny kid, they can.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we did the scrawny kid, strong guy thing. Now we got to do strong guy, fat guy thing.
And they did Skinny Tony.
Skinny Tony. They did do Skinny Tony. Yeah.
Well, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was like, too much.
We also, the dude's had a hard life, but, in the last movie, I was like, yikes. Yeah. He's only 54. He definitely looks like he's clocking 60.
Yeah.
He's lived a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, fighting
in the MCU and not.
When you're saving the universe all the time, you know.
Yeah. Getting drunk and showing up in people's backyards.
You see Obama when he first got elected? And
yeah. They fought Thanos.
Yeah, they fought Thanos.
Yeah. But it's amazing. I'm excited. I probably will go again. Will you go again? Will you go again?
I think I need to.
I think it was so much physically too. I think I definitely want to see it 10 times more, but I think I need to be in the comfort of my own home more intimately with the screen so I can just look at more.
That's funny. I think my next screening will be on a Wednesday at 11 a.m. where no one else is at the theater, and I'm just like, all right, cool.
Good luck.
Yeah. I'll have to wait 3 weeks.
Do you guys remember that period years ago when people were like, people are going to stop going to theaters and cinema's going to die? Like when internet and Netflix was such a thing.
No, people just make bad movies.
And then Marvel happened.
Yeah. It's still crazy. Not doing well. Theaters are still not doing great.
Theaters
the movies aren't.
Blockbusters are.
The movies are.
But blockbusters have always done well.
Right. That's the thing. It's you're always going to have those. It's always going to do well. But you have your Netflixes and your things that are taking a chunk out of movies. I mean, you can just see it in the fact that every movie theater is you can get a recliner now and you can get food to your table. They're making it very easy.
Now.
Yeah. But it's definitely the Marvel. I mean, this movie is probably, by the time this comes out, we'll know, but this probably going to do better than any movie.
Oh, no. That's something that I find kind of annoying every time because I know it's just good marketing, but it's every movie has its records that it beats.
Right.
I'm you can't do that every single time.
Yeah.
No, but this will. Yeah. This will. This before the movie came out was
it shattered records in pre-sale.
Yeah.
Will it win Best Picture?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I think it might.
It was so good. But it's as a one-off movie by itself. I feel like that's going to be something. So many people are going to see this movie and have not seen Infinity War. Because so many people who just need to see it because they're everyone's seeing it, so I got to see it.
Yes.
Didn't Return of the King win for Best Picture?
Yeah, but it was also at a time where there was kind of nothing dropping. I feel there's also so many. I mean, it'll be interesting because this is going to go up against a Joker. And I feel a Joker is probably going to be up for more things just because of the Scorsese of it all and the fact that it feels a little more Oscar foddery.
Yeah, you and I talked about this, and I kind of as much as I am expecting a lot from that movie by expecting very little, could that be up for Best Picture? Maybe. This just again... It's just this moment in history that took 11 years to get up to it. I almost feel it's just you've earned it. Take it.
It's unprecedented for sure, but I also
especially
feel
at a time when I think the Oscars are trying to fight for a better audience.
Yeah, and well, that's why they created the fan award or the most popular award or whatever. Like they try, but at the end of the day, it's old Hollywood. You know what I mean? They don't want this. They don't want these movies. They want the movie about the kid that falls in the ice. They want those movies to win. Like that's just how it is.
I haven't seen trailer for Joker. I actually didn't see any of Infinity War trailers.
Or for Endgame.
For Endgame.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. These are the best Marvel trailers ever. It showed us the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
That's it.
And they didn't do the cool thing. I actually kind of like the marketing trick where they'll like change things in the
they
trailer.
do different delivery.
Yeah, or different like like where in Infinity War they show the scene where Hulk is Hulk
yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's like they didn't do that with this, which is interesting. They did show footage from Infinity War and play it off like it's in this movie, which is kind of fun. But
and the Joker trailer, as a DC fan, I was watching this trailer and people were like, "Well, what did you think?" I'm like, I don't know. They didn't really give me anything.
I haven't seen Dark Knight and anything following.
really,
You never saw Dark Knight?
Never saw Dark Knight.
Wow.
I love Heath Ledger so much. I just never got around to it, and then it's
Interesting.
just been a thing.
Yeah.
And
You need
then
to go home and watch Dark
We
Knight.
need to do a movie night,
and
girl.
yeah, Batman. My family. We were very much into Batman.
Yeah.
And but for some reason,
You
it's
gotta
just a
watch
crazy
Dark
time.
Knight. Like Dark Knight is just one of those movies where it's just like, no, that's a good movie. You should see
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, nothing's really been spoiled too bad.
I mean, it's hard to. Heath Ledger died.
Oh no!
I'm so sorry. I'm the first to tell you. I'm so sorry. This is how you find out.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
He what?
But
I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah,
It's like he's still tweeting that thing.
it's a meme account.
Yeah. I always thought it was weird. He would have such dank memes.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I just feel like this is kind of just the conversations that happen at work anyway.
Right.
Here.
Literally.
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of like what we do is like on the, when we were just in a hole on the game side, like we would just talk about the geekiest crap and then we're able to kind of like blend in together. And it's like, you're able to come in with different things. Like I've watched you over the last couple of years become this Marvel super fan, which is so cool to me.
I was a fan before. Like I said, they asked what my favorite movie was in my interview, and I said Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It's one of those things where it's cool for me because like I literally grew up in the comic book industry. So like for the fact that like all this stuff was like kind of passe and I would kind of get picked on in like school for liking comics and stuff like that. And now it's like if you don't like comics, you get picked on. Like the kid that didn't go to the Endgame is like, well, look at this nerd. Like it's so weird to me. It's so insane. And like watching like everybody in the office kind of like come in with different things. It's one of those things that I think is so amazing about these Marvel movies, the superhero movies in general, is like they don't have a bad taste. Like we remember Spider-Man 3 and like going to X-Men and being like, why are they in black leather? Like that was the stuff. Like it was just like so dumb and like stuff before that and like watching the Hulk show and all these different things. But now it's just like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't change most of that movie last night. You know what I mean? Like I was like, as a fan who knows a lot of these characters in and out, there's a lot that I wouldn't have changed. And the fact that we're able to share that together in the office is just so rad.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
Because whatever your favorite Marvel movie was, like it had its moment in this. For you to be like, that's my guy,
there was
that's my
something
girl.
for everyone.
Again, this movie was just perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Look at you.
I remember when I first started working here, that was my first time seeing like offices being like personalized. So when I saw your office having all your cool stuff, like, and you eventually had an Infinity Gauntlet in there, like before, and I was like, what is that? What's that
These are
from?
Infinity Stones.
Yeah, you like explained a little bit. You're like, no, I wasn't nerdy enough yet. Like,
No, you weren't ready. You weren't
wasn't
ready. I was like, trying to explain that stuff is hard.
I still wasn't, apparently, because my body physically I had an anxiety attack. Your office has always been something that's like a staple in everything I've been through here, because it's like it's got everything that we all love. And like I remember going even just here, like you have the video games going.
Oh yeah, it's
and
like you got it. I mean, that's the most important thing. Is like, I mean, it's something that we try to do is like try to keep it fun.
Yeah.
Because if like I don't want to be the guy with like a corporate office and just like who has charts on the wall. I don't know, business papers everywhere. I don't know how it works, but like
just a chart.
Just a chart.
I don't know what it's for.
Guys, it's going up. I don't know what it is, but it's going up. So business is great. I've never wanted to be that guy. So it's like I've always made sure like my office has tried to be like. And a moment of me, like a capture of what I love and like the geeky dumb crap, and we'd have a WWF belt hanging from my ceiling and like crap like that.
I think that really echoes just like like what you need to be successful on YouTube, though, is personality first, and
Right.
it should never stray away from that. Which kind of going back to what we were originally talking about is why I'm really excited to see what happens next with you
Yeah.
guys, is because it's personality first.
It's unfiltered. For the first time ever, we get to make stuff and not have a committee decide whether it's a good or bad idea based on that one chart in my office.
Yeah,
like
the
it's
going up chart.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, like, it's all of us coming up with ideas together. I'm really happy you're back and that you don't hate Smosh.
You
know, we didn't.
I never
don't know.
hated my family. It was just I want to see if I can be successful.
You gotta
It's family. You can
try.
hate
Yeah.
me a little bit.
Yeah.
you know.
I like
hate
you guys
you
more than my
sometimes.
actual family, so it's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've known each other for almost a decade.
Almost a decade, which how
I don't
we
know.
survived
You guys
this
are
long, I don't know.
you're such a crazy duo.
I was the best man at his wedding.
I was the
he
best
was the
man at
best
his
man at my wedding.
wedding. Yep.
He actually helped me shave.
I did.
On my wedding day.
As those who are watching this video can see, he doesn't know how to shave.
I don't.
Did you tie his tie for him too?
No, Mari did the tie.
Mari did the
Oh,
tie.
that's
I think
fucking
maybe
cute.
while he was like putting on my jacket or something.
Yeah,
I can't be trusted.
Yeah,
on
I
my
had to
own.
put your vows on. I had to download a teleprompter app on my phone because you
right.
couldn't read your vows
Yeah,
because it was
'cause
so small because
it was
he's
too small.
blind.
Yeah.
So I had to
Amazing.
get it on his phone. So we've been in each other. This September will be 9 years.
9 years.
that we met.
Yeah,
We've known each
2010
other for that
to
long. So like,
Jeez.
and the fact that we were lucky enough to be able to work in an office every day and see each other and not strangle each other,
Yeah.
was pretty
Almost nice.
impressive.
I mean, as long as I've worked here, I mean, I've seen you guys. It was like captain and his first mate. Like
Sure.
that's what it always seemed like. to
just a
me.
couple
Skipper and
of-
Gilligan.
I'd see
a couple
you-
of seamen.
I'd see. Yep.
Yeah.
I just
But I'd
came so
see
fast.
You, I'd see you like you would do this stroll into Matt Raub's office and the door would shut and I was like, it's the guys.
Yeah.
It's Don Draper. and
Little did they
Little
know, we're
sesh.
just kissing. Yeah, no one knew.
little
Just a little kisses.
seeing what I could stick to his beard.
Gauntlet to touch each other.
Yeah, don't touch the gauntlet. No, but I mean, that's what's been cool about it, and that's what's exciting about this is like, we talked about it. We talked about what was happening with Smosh, and we talked about what you had coming up, and it's like, we want to make sure at the end of the day, we're still able to be who we are on film with each other. You know what I mean? And like, there's never been animosity. There's never been like, oh, I hate them. Oh, I quit. Oh, I'm leaving. Like, you were freelance when the Defy stuff went
Yeah,
down.
that's something that a lot of people don't know is May 1st last year I didn't work at Defy.
Yeah.
I was just coming in to film videos and if you couldn't tell then, you might not be able to tell now.
It's one of those things, like, it's just, there were mandates, as there was like our cast was too old and we couldn't put certain people
Yeah,
on. Everybody
dude.
had to be a 21-year-old and speak 9 languages. And so, like, it was kind of forced on me to be like, well, we gotta phase them out. And I was like, I don't think it makes sense. So, like, in May, you and Mari kind of became freelancers. And that's the thing that no one really knows and no one really talks about.
Yeah.
So now, like, the fact that you guys have been able to build this career for yourselves and still be able to come back and do stuff, that's the most important part.
And like when the Defy thing happened, like I was there at the office, but because you texted me, I was like driving home because I was just literally hanging out with you that day.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you might want to come back. And I mean, I was there because again, it's family. I didn't lose my job that day,
Right.
so
Yeah,
I was just there to support and help and not steal stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that we're able to kind of come back and we're able to completely triumph as the failure happened in November and come back as this Phoenix, and you're able to come back and Wes and Mari and Lasercorn and everyone, so Hinky, everybody, and we're gonna have you back in more stuff. Like I said, we've got something coming up, next week, and
No, nothing sticky.
you never said
Depending on
that.
the food. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you never said
no
that.
hot peppers.
Oh, so sticky
no
hot peppers all over your body.
No,
Sounds
no,
great.
no. I physically hurt to hear.
And I mean, like, we are probably going to do summer games this year.
What?
We're probably going to do summer games this year.
Yes.
And, you'll be back for that.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to be a
I'll
part of
probably
it.
lose
Yeah. No, maybe. You never know.
You never know.
But I
Times
mean,
are
like,
different now.
times are different.
are different.
Your time away has made you stronger.
No, it hasn't.
Your vision is so strong
just made
now.
me
5 years later.
Exactly. But I mean, like, that's the beauty about it. It's like we can still make stuff together and you can still be in stuff. And there's no animosity. There's no like, I miss the old. It's like, no,
Yeah.
the old is the old. Like, we want to evolve. We want to do something different.
Yeah, everyone's like, do the wax job again. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do different things.
It's like you saw that.
Like better stuff.
You saw that. Why didn't you see it again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Just watch the video again.
right
It's there.
And if we're gonna do something again, we're gonna do it with different people, like Secret Hitler. You never got to play Secret Hitler.
Yeah, that was my first time.
You know, I never got to do it. Like we actually did it.
Play the game.
You know what? It's fine, and I
Yeah,
blame.
we did
It
mess
was a
up.
fun video.
It was fun. It was fun.
Was it was it like a huge difference? Like, was it a big deal?
No, because like at the end of the day, you found the balance and it worked. The rules are just there to help with the balance a little bit more. I feel like liberals won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But it was down to the wire, though.
Yeah, if you guys were playing by the rules, I think you guys would have won.
I was a liberal. That's the crazy
that's right.
part. I was just being an
the
anarchist.
fascists would have won faster. So what you wound up doing worked better for the video.
Yeah, see? Look at that.
Good.
So weird how that happens.
I was so dumb in that video.
It was great. No, you were
No,
you
you
were
were-
hilarious.
you were my
not
favorite
dumb.
part of
you
that
were
video.
so funny. And you know, being able to do more stuff, like you've got a new series we're trying out where you
Yes.
get to do some crazy stuff
So
in
excited.
Sims, and like we want to try stuff, and like that's the beauty about YouTube is like you can try stuff, and as long as you guys are with us, we're gonna do it together. Like you're along for the ride, the fans.
Yeah, and the comments, there's always going to be comments of, where's this person?
Mm-hmm.
They're not, just because someone's not in that video, maybe they're freaking sick, dude. Or, like, during the shutdown, Olivia got to go do a movie.
Right.
Like, and then Shane was able to do Goldbergs without freaking out about
Yeah.
scheduling and making sure he was a part of everything. Like, we're doing other stuff. Like, this is a dream job. It's my dream job. But, like, there's other things we kind of want to do. And it's like, who are we, or who's anybody to stand in someone's way of doing something that's, like, they've been dying to do their whole life?
Yeah, we always talk about like, oh, you do what you have to do to survive. And I don't think that is us, really, now that I think about it. I think it's like, no, we do what we do to try to live now. And it's
Right.
just like,
I mean, there was for the longest time Defy, and we could talk about it, had a mandate that we couldn't do anything outside of Smosh.
I got in trouble by one of the execs when I did that Legends of Gaming.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know I was going to show up on the cover of Variety.
And that show sucked.
It wasn't great.
No, but I mean, like, that's what's crazy is, like, we're able to do these things now and actually try things. Like, the notion that, like, oh, if Courtney goes and does a show, it's going to be, like, a competition with Smosh. Is like, no, that's not how the internet works. And there were these old execs making these demands. And it's like, no, if you go off and become a star on TV and you're still part of the Smosh fam, that's all going to help each other. Like, that's what's cool about it. And the fact that we're able to come back together and still do it, and you can pop in, you live 10, 15 minutes away.
It did not take me long to get here.
It's great, and we're all close to each other, and we're able to kind of like do stuff and shoot stuff together, and that's the beauty of it. It's how it should have been 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate having an office too close to me because one day you'll just be in the office like, what smells like salami? And just like me looking like Thor.
Oh no, we get smells all the time,
I need
dude.
you around, dude. Like the kitchen, the mythical kitchen. It's every day. It's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I admit, sometimes I show up to work and I'm like, I am really tight in my shoulders. Like, for people who don't know, Joven was known in the office for, he's very good massager.
I could have been a masseur, as Mari's even said as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I.
This is making me uncomfortable. I don't like
I'm
this
sorry. I
conversation
definitely
at all.
brought that up in a weird way. But I literally, like, you've helped me so much.
You got magic fingers, bro. Great job. No,
I got you, buddy.
no.
No,
Wet willy.
a long time ago, I used to live with someone that was learning to be a masseuse, and so I just
Wes Johnson.
no, Wes.
No.
There's like maybe one person that likes a Wes massage, and he thinks that he's good at massages. Courtney, is Wes good at massages?
No.
Who's not here to defend himself?
He is not good at
He's
massages.
too strong. It's just like, let me break your back.
It's like a good massage is just jamming your thumb deep inside of them. And if his thumbnail was too long, he'd probably puncture me.
Yeah.
He's very strong.
It's like just sausage fingers. These giant sausage West fingers just massaging.
Keith liked those massages a lot.
Did he?
Keith has probably never had an actual massage to know.
Yeah.
No, the human body is a machine, and you have to know how the different cogs work and what flows and be
Stop
able
it.
to
Just
feel.
shut
Weird.
up. Just shut up.
I
You know how
regret
to-
this.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. This is terrible.
Yeah, but it smells like salami right now. What's the deal?
I just like my morning salami sandwiches.
That's weird.
Isn't that
I don't miss your salami
rye bread,
burps.
a lot of mustard, and
Yeah.
just salami and a few onions.
Yeah, done. Gross.
That's my normal scent. That's
Gross.
what you guys don't get on
That's
the other
gross.
side of the camera.
Thank God. Be happy because you'd be like, is this an A&E show? Does this guy have a problem? This is bad.
This is the intervention.
Yeah, this is it.
I've always wondered if smell will ever be a component in like TV or movies.
I hope not.
It's like in 4D stuff.
Because I'll have to
Yeah,
stop.
it's like Shrek.
Or the Simpsons ride?
Or the Simpsons ride, yeah.
Simpsons, bring it back.
Bringing it back. Full circle, baby. I love it. So you've got a couple shows now.
Yeah, so I am at full force on my YouTube channel, but so that's always me present. I am working on, there's top fives. I've got the Marvel show that happens once an update when that comes around. Totally unprompted. Thank you, Shane and Damien, for being the inspirations in my life.
We got Shane right here. Come on.
Come on, he's got boxing gloves on.
And then, we're just, I'm actually, I have sold a cartoon.
Hey!
And we are currently trying to get that up and moving, so I'm very excited about that. I don't have a lot of information because apparently it takes a long time to do that.
True.
So it's in the process, and maybe the fans will hear some familiar voices if we get those opportunities. And
It's just you doing all the voices.
So since you work at Marvel now, there's a Guardians 3 movie.
Yeah, I know all the details.
If I could, you just get me in there.
Yeah, just
in the room with them.
Into Chris Pratt's green room, in his dressing room.
I
right?
mean, to start.
Yeah, to start.
Sure.
That's where most people start, actually.
Cool.
Wow. I don't like it.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you're in, but yeah.
I'm in, but what? What's going on? I'm having a great time.
I'm very excited with what I'm working on right now because for the first time, I feel like it was always Joven Shire with Smosh Games, and it's the first time where I'm definitely on my own, and I feel like I'm an adult and kind of like I have a business now. I run like a production, but at the same time, I'm very excited now that you guys are up and running to be able to jump back in here. I'm just excited for us. Yeah. I think it's just because again, I don't think it's surviving anymore. I think now we're living. We're learning how to do it. But we're all together and we're working on stuff. And like you were saying, like if someone's on the channel, they've got a channel. Go watch and support what people are doing because that's what you want to do. That's why we broke down the fourth wall. So you guys aren't just the fans, you're family too. So
go watch everybody's stuff.
Come hang out with us.
And then comment why are you not in Smosh Games anymore?
Yeah. Where are you? Where's this person?
Where are you? Why are you not the thing that I know? What am I?
What is Joven? Where is Joven?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. And you're going to be back in a couple weeks for another video. And
as I've been told right now.
Yes, if you've been told right now.
Right now.
And you're going to love it.
And maybe a Smosh Games.
Yeah, maybe.
I like how to say Smosh Games. You have to say it out of the side of your mouth right now because it's not official.
It's just the stroke. It's the stroke you're having. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for hosting us.
You did an amazing job today hosting.
You.
I'm going to start commenting Ian who.
Yeah.
Ian who?
Ian Who Cox.
Who Cox. Wow.
Ian Who Cox.
No, Ian, I love you. Please don't hate me.
Thank you guys. We literally got 4 hours.
Yeah, you were doing fantastic off of just
night,
that much of sleep.
I'm being held up on caffeine right now. I'm waiting the moment we stop.
And there's also a bar right behind it.
Yeah, except just holding me up like a marionette. Yeah. I'm great, guys.
There's constantly a bar behind me, but it's a different kind.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this episode of SmoshCast.
And or listening.
I hope you guys liked me as a host. Please comment down below Ian Who Cox.
Yeah, Who Cox.
For me, and hit that like button if you want me to come back. If you are a listener, the podcast comes out on Wednesdays, and as well as a teaser for the podcast on our SmoshCast YouTube channel. And then if you're a watcher or viewer, comes out the whole cut on Friday. But you don't get to hear the swear words.
You don't get to hear us say poop.
Or pee-pee.
Ooh, pee-pee or poop.
Armpit.
That was not the real enjoyment.
Thank you guys for coming. I love you so much.
Love you too.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. I did it.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That's a weird feeling.
I hated it.